If you're looking to start driving for DoorDash right now, arguably one of the most popular gig economy platforms, you might make more money as a new Dasher compared to someone who's been doing it for a while. Why? The company will typically give you a free trial of their rewards program called Dasher Rewards, which gives you access to higher paying orders. So when Andrew said he's attempting his first ever DoorDash Dasher shift, will he get free access to Dasher Rewards, their platinum status, or will it be just a standard DoorDash shift? And if you're looking at driving for DoorDash right now, is it actually worth it?
Today, I'm going to be trying some DoorDash deliveries. But there is one pretty major problem. So my city that I live in, for doing DoorDash
Marketplace,
sometimes it says it's reserved. And in order to do deliveries during the reserved time, it says you have to complete 205.
We finally found a Dasher that has this. Oh my gosh, this is brand new. This, by the way, all I do is help you make money in different side hustles. If you couldn't tell, I've researched this quite a bit. These are gold reserved zones for new Dashers. I forgot about this. They used to never have this. So Andrew has to complete, if he wants to drive in this certain segment of his marketplace, because your entire marketplace is broken down into smaller segments, 205 deliveries to go online. So either he has to drive somewhere else and eventually hit 205, that's a decent amount of deliveries, or just wait for the gold reserved zones to disappear, and who knows how long that's going to take.
205? That's an insane amount of deliveries.
That's a good amount.
So if I even want to do this DoorDash vlog,
that's a newish feature.
I have to wait around until this zone that I'm in becomes available.
Yep.
The reservation system, it almost makes you go and do DoorDashes in a completely different city. It's like, oh, well, this city, you can do
different
it. It's like 2
marketplace.
hours away. I can't do that.
Okay, it's Denver. So you see how Denver is broken into smaller sub-marketplaces. We see those gold zones. It's going to ebb and flow. It's going to turn on and off. But his sub-marketplace, it's red. Now, it can also be gray, like this marketplace right here. It's either too filled with Dashers already, but it's not reserved. He could go online if it gets busy enough. Like these red zones where it says busy, that it's not reserved, and they need Dashers. It indicates it's busy, so he can dash there.
Goal is to get at least 3 deliveries, I think.
That's not a lot.
Track how long.
Okay. Should take him like an hour or so to do 3 deliveries.
Earned for that time frame.
Okay, my goal for you, Andrew, is to get 3 deliveries. You should be able to do that in like an hour, a little bit over an hour. Earnings, if they're all $10, like would be solid, I'd tell you to average $7, $1.75 paid up per mile. So hopefully he should earn at least $30. That'd be pretty good if each delivery was $10.
So let's get to it. But
how good is Denver? How good is your marketplace? Let me know down below. He's in a Rivian. He's in a Rivian. That is an expensive EV. Is that the R1S or R1T? Wow. Should you do gig work in like $80,000+ vehicles? No, not in my opinion. I mean, you're going to be like parallel parking, navigating your vehicle in tight streets. Depends on the marketplace, at least. I wouldn't want your vehicle to get like dings and scratches, albeit you know your vehicle, drive safely, take care, all of that. I don't know if I'd want to accelerate the depreciation of a Rivian driving for DoorDash. I get both sides of the coin though. If you're not going to do it that often, that's the vehicle you have. That's a vehicle you have. Okay, so he's commuting, driving to a power strip, we call it, areas that are really dense with restaurants. Looks just like that.
I just have so many questions. That's kind of why I want.
I'll answer them. What do you got, Andrew?
What's going to be the most popular spot getting DoorDashed? And
Good
I've
question.
always wondered what the experience is like as a DoorDash driver. I mean, I've gotten plenty of DoorDash delivered, but I've never.
Well, if you want to learn about what it's like to be a DoorDash Dasher in most any gig economy app, consider subscribing here. Appreciate that, Andrew. What it's like? Well, it's kind of what you make it. Best practices, trying to maximize customer tips, having problems communicating with customers, shop and deliver, that's new, grocery, retail. We could go on and on, of course.
If you're a DoorDash delivery driver
Yes.
and you're watching this video,
Yes.
leave a comment down below.
Already
What's
did.
your experience been like? Hopefully by watching this video, if you're not a driver, it'll help you decide if you want to be a driver. Well, according to the map, there's no hotspots where I parked.
That's
It's kind
okay.
of confusing. There's so many restaurants around here.
Love this. Okay, so a hotspot called a dynamic hotspot, or there's historical hotspots. We're not going to get into that. It's areas that are generally busy based on what DoorDash thinks. Just because you're not sitting in an actual hotspot and they change, throughout your shift there, that's fine. So you're going to know your marketplace. And Andrew's like, well, I'm in a plaza. You're probably fine. If you're in a plaza or a power strip that we call it, you're probably fine as long as those areas get food delivery.
So down here, I think this is what's
see that you don't got a
hotspot. There's just hotspot zones. What's going on here? So you have to be in one of these zones. I have to drive down here. Nope. Are you kidding me? I went to the wrong spot. I guess I probably should have looked it up before assuming.
Don't waste your miles. See, it's interesting because he's never done DoorDash. You just don't know. It's okay. You just don't know. You don't have to drive to a hotspot. And frankly, I don't want you to. It's going to waste empty or commuting miles just driving to those ever-changing hotspots. So no, he'll get an offer.
Okay.
Probably within 1 to 3 minutes. No, he's navigating 11 minutes there. Don't do it, Andrew.
I was just trying to get to this hotspot. Then my phone started beeping. And I got a Chick-fil-A order.
I was going to say, he shouldn't have to wait that long.
I'm in the wrong lane. Okay, I'm here. Chick-fil-A. Now, I'm not sure about Chick-fil-A. Do you go inside to get the DoorDash?
These are great questions. So some locations want you to go inside the lobby. I would say most fast food, at least here in Pittsburgh, let me know what you have. They do want you to go in the lobby. If the lobby's closed, then they want you to go through the drive-thru. I imagine they don't want you in the drive-thru always because they have a certain fill rates or time that they want to get people through the drive-thru. So you're just adding another car in the drive-thru lane. But your DoorDash app should have any notes from the restaurant that'll say come in the lobby or whatever.
Go through the drive-thru actually and pick up a DoorDash.
Sometimes I've gone through the drive-thru, waited in the drive-thru, and then they told me hey, come inside.
Helpful hint to check the name on the receipt. So that's good advice. Oh yes, it does say walk into store. Okay, let's confirm the items.
There it is.
Chick-fil-A meal. This one straight up just says 1 8-count nuggets. This other one says a bunch of choose this, choose that. I'm not ordering. Why is it asking me to choose stuff?
Because when the customer ordered, they customized some things. So it might be choose seedless bun or whatever it is, choose add barbecue sauce, whatever it is. It's just the customer's order.
Oh, it's giving me an extra note. It says this customer is a top customer. Deliver with care.
This is great. This is fantastic. This is probably the best first shift video I've seen in some time. The series where I, as a gig economy expert, look at fellow gig workers, or at least someone trying a platform. Man, top customer. It's a new feature where DoorDash will highlight a top customer, but it's not necessarily that they tip more, which is what matters to you as a Dasher. Maybe they just spend more on DoorDash is kind of what we're thinking, but deliver with care.
This first order is in an apartment complex. That can be kind of confusing. Okay, I think I'm here. Oh, I hope so. Grab all the stuff.
This is exactly what Dashers have to go through and what they worry about. They're apartment complex. Then it's a massive complex and they're confusing.
$8.50. So pretty good. It gave me a notification saying my new Dasher status gave me the priority for this offer.
Okay, we answered 2 questions there. This is the best. Drop a like on this video if you can, and we'll have Andrew's channel linked in the show notes here. He just confirmed as a new Dasher, yes, still in 2025, he is getting priority access to higher paying orders. Yes, on that free trial. I think it's for your first, 20 deliveries or 50, I forget. 2 Dasher rewards, perks. $8.50, that's good. Remember, I said at least $7 per offer. We didn't see the mileage there. So
in order to keep getting prioritized, I have to keep my ratings high after my 50th delivery.
It is 50.
So I guess until order 50, you're still considered A new Dasher?
Yep.
Let's get back in the hotspot,
And you get
guys.
the platinum status, which is the highest tier of rewards. You get the highest priority for higher paying orders. So think about this. Look, I want you to make as much money as possible. That's why you subscribe here and join our newsletter. Got a new gig tool coming for you that's going to help you understand your earnings and pick different side hustles. Think about how many new Dashers are joining every week. Do you think that's a lot or little in your marketplace? Because if each one of them, you would think, are getting free access to platinum status on their first 50 deliveries.
I'm almost back in the hotspot. Last time I was down here, the phone just started beeping. So what are the odds it's Chick-fil-A again, huh?
It sounds like you drove back to the hotspot. You don't need to do that. So what I want you to do is what I call ping-ponging orders. So as soon as you stop somewhere and you make that delivery ending destination, I don't want to move. I want to minimize any empty or commuting miles. I would maybe commute 1 to 3 minutes away, but I would not drive all the way back to the hotspot, let's say. I don't know how far he drove to get back to that hotspot, but don't do that. That's like doubling your miles if you finish here and you're like, well, I'm gonna have to drive all the way back here. Just stay here as long as it's a good ending destination. That's something else that I teach you here, to look at the ending destination. Can I get orders around this ending destination?
My thumb bumped accept. It says pick up in 2 minutes. Good thing I'm across the street. Okay, let's go to the Applebee's.
How much? I wouldn't be afraid of a 20-minute delivery if it pays enough to trend towards $20 to $25 plus an hour. That's my goal for you.
Okay, since I selected dashing for only an hour, it automatically kind of ended my
You can go right
session,
back online though. Mm-hmm.
So my total for 1 hour was $15. Which is pretty good.
So that other one was like 7 something, 750. It was going to take 20 minutes. He just did those 2 in an hour, which is fine. But I don't know. Something must have taken too long. An hour, 2 deliveries, $15. Not fantastic. But let me tell you this, if you're just getting started. Your first couple of shifts, like say you drove for like 3 hours, 4 hours that day, half of it is going to be understanding the screens and the workflow, just the little things. How do I find that apartment complex, parking there the best way possible? You're going to have things that waste your time. You're going to be going through the app. You're going to be unsure about things, the pickup. Oh, I didn't know that, whatever. Chili's is the side door for pickup versus the front door, all this stuff. So if you're making like 15, even like 16 an hour, you think it's not really worth it for the wear and tear on the vehicle, I would calculate your pay per mile as well and all of that. And again, just subscribe to that newsletter. So that new gig tool is going to help you understand your earnings and stuff like that as well if you're going to be doing these gig apps. I wouldn't necessarily give up after like 1 shift. Don't do that. You're going to have to drive different days of the week, different times, understand the app first, and then of course you're going to use the best practices that we teach you here. And really just understanding what makes a good offer. $850 versus, I don't know, the other one was like $750 or something like that. Understanding, okay, cash flow, how much is it paying me versus the time and the mileage. We call it dollars to mile ratio, dollars to time ratio, because like the cash flow might seem good, $850, but then if you only squeeze out 2 of those offers in an hour, you make $15 an hour. And remember, he has the free platinum Dasher rewards access for his first 50 offers. So as a new Dasher, you could be even more choosy because you have that highest priority. So let me know in the comments, have you started DoorDash? Or are you thinking about it, or any other of these gig economy platforms? Because that's exactly what I teach you here. And let me know, which gig shift would you like me to look at next?